All right, folks, how we doing? My stomach can barely take this. So I'm gonna have to do this, and I'm gonna have to go in here and go read. All right. First, I want to start like this. Okay. Yeah, we already have enough misfits out here, include myself. Okay. I have things I have to work on myself. Okay. That I can probably be abused my spiritual talents in a better way at times. But again, today is a day to take care of some serious business. Okay, that you if you're going to be in front of a podium, but even on YouTube, you have certain examples you have to set. And yeah, sometimes I joke around. Again, I know that I have a problem with a few people, and I may say a couple of bad words, but I'll do that in context with the Bible. All right, in context with the Bible. But there's certain things I'm not going to play with. Okay, when you are called to do maybe God's work, i.e., counsel, you are an evangelist, or maybe you are an ordained minister. All right, then that's what you are called to do. That should be your primary focus. Okay. Now let me say this, all right, because this is a subject that this ain't nothing to play with. So let's get right into it. This happens actually here in the Las Vegas area where I reside, North Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. Um, Pastor Bobby Smith of the New Beginnings COGIG Church. That means Church of God. Okay. 45-year-old pastor was arrested for alleged three counts of molestation and one count of child abuse. Okay, there was a confession that was made in February 2022 by one of the victims. Okay, she was a minor, and this has occurred between August. This incident, I'm telling you, August 2012 to March of 2013. Okay, that she was allegedly assaulted over 30 times. She had also confessed that there was at least one more victim. Now I'm thinking that this guy have two of these young ladies over there at his house or maybe his office at one time. But anyway, there was another victim had confessed and was offered a sex toy, and she didn't take it. Now, let's see here. A third victim had reported to Las Vegas Metro Police that this pastor exposed himself and had assaulted her sexually. Even his wife was charged with child abuse. So that tells me, was she in this? Was this some type of ring or something? All right. You see, this probably tells me that this couple and the so-called first lady and the so-called pastor, and I have a problem calling him pastor, all right, that they probably do stuff like probably porn addicts, all right, that they're probably swinging, probably having sex toy parties, all right, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's out there, you know, buying hookers and stuff like that, and she's having her set of affairs, and then it gets to where that this type of experimental stuff happens with children. I'm telling you, okay? It's usually like porn, swinging, more than likely the sex traffic industry. And then next thing you know, it's like children. And next thing you know, it could be people of the same sex. It's really disgusting to talk about it. That people or just see how far that they can go along with it. These pastors, and I said this time and time again, I made more videos about this in the past than I did now. That they get more than enough of what they want. All right? Now I'm not saying like stepping out on your spouse or whatever is the right thing to do. Okay? And, stuff like this is uncalled for. It's really indicative, and it's just not the way that you take care of business as a man of God. Okay? Uh, I will say this with reluctance, that these are allegations, and he did post a bail, so it's unfair for him to be. I'm saying this with reluctance, so he shouldn't be charged with allegations. But these are too many complaints for them, for let's say the Metro authorities to sit back and not do anything. Okay, yes, these are allegations, but I'm just thinking that if you were in a position such as this man is, an ordained minister, number one, and then you're in a position of public trust, you're held to a higher standard. Okay? So yeah, I believe this is one of the things that the police, that they're not going to hesitate to look into. And we already have enough of those problems like that in Las Vegas anyway. All right, with things like prostitution, brotheling, and all that other stuff. Okay? But I said this before. It's one thing if it's the adults. Okay? Things should be handled with decency and order. You will answer if you're doing something immoral, okay? I'll have to answer the things that I've done in my past, okay? You will have to answer that. But I said this time and time again, when it comes to the children, then there's certain things that are just off limits. Since that incident that happened out there in Penn State with that coach, all right, with those young football recruits and all that was back in what, 06, 07, then authorities started cracking down with these laws, to protect children throughout the country, whatever. It's like a shockwave. All right. So Pastor Smith, so-called pastor, did post bail, and his hearing, along with his wife, again, who's also been charged with child abuse, is going to be, the hearing is going to be, let's see here, August 30th. So I guess they're going to go through the due process. So maybe that gives them time or whatever I'm thinking to do some type of, I don't know, confidential agreements and maybe some type of restitution for these victims. But this stuff, yeah, I think this is a sign that many authorities, especially with people that are so-called men or women of God, and technically a woman shouldn't be preaching, or a woman can preach, but the head of a church is a man. You do know that, right? Okay, but technically a woman's not supposed to preach, although I somewhat disagree with that. Okay, but I think this sends shockwaves about people here in Las Vegas, and should be all around the country, that people are so-called like servants of God are held to a higher standard. And we had another incident like that with a Hispanic guy out here in the church doing the same thing out here in Las Vegas. There's a couple of guys or whatever that got caught up doing that right here in this area, doing that this type of behavior, which I find disturbing. All right, they do have a COGIG site, all right, that on here that you have to look for, that report, the COGIG abuse site that does, you can report this type of behavior, or you can call like a hotline, sexual assault hotline in your respective area, okay, for guys like this, okay, because we need to get guys like this off the podium. These guys have got to go. All right, enough is enough. But let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry to be so long-winded. All right, but this is not the video to have no short talk. And, put the Most High first.